Shalom, family. Glory be to God and blessed be the Lamb. I beg your indulgence for 40 or so minutes. I'll try to make it interesting and comical, make it more like it's entertainment rather than so heavy and spiritual. It being Friday night. It is Friday night. So I don't even been just one long ass day interspersed by sleep. One people, we have come a long ways considering where we started at. It's 2025. And for those of us who have been riding with me and I've been riding with them, and let's call it 8 years or so. Remember? I know I do. I remember as I had made contact with you one by one, one by one. I remember feeling kind of frustrated because I could the times. So I asked, how are we doing? I would love to ask you this. What would be your assessment? And I still haven't called you by name because of obvious reasons, I would think, because um, it is dangerous. It is dangerous. And I'm glad I didn't previously, even though I said I would, which makes me feel just a little bit guilty. I have to honor my word. Unfortunately, after Monday will always be a bummer. Tuesday will always feel like a Tuesday. It's routine. It is routine, depending on age. Depending on age. It's monotonous. But anyway, here's my assessment. We have spread like a virus. We have spread like a virus. At, I mean, at the beginning of this, before I understood the true nature of the power that lives in. But sooner or later, Mr. Mountain is going to take me seriously. He's going to willfully move. He's going to respect me. Even though he knows I don't have a snowball's chance in hell, that don't mean that I'm going to ever stop whacking his ass. I said move. Now we can do this the hard way. We can do this the easy way. But I'm getting to the other side of you, and I'm not going to climb over you. That decision has been made. I have sledgehammers and stoneworking tools. Let's see what you got. At any rate, we have spread like a virus, and they speak some kind of unknown language that largely consists of grunts and other sounds that they can make with their damn mouth. Well, God got it. God got it. Once I understood how that this is going to have to be done and would be done, I have to be understood in every language in the world simultaneously. I may speak English here, silent army across the world, including in the United States. The FBI's worst fear. Its worst fear. It acknowledged this as far back as the 90s. I was sitting in this seminar, late 80s, get these dates right. And it was an FBI seminar. Now, you may ask yourself, why was I at it? There's a more to me than you would think. However, the man said they are dangerous because they believe it, intimating that the other believers in other faiths obviously don't believe in their own religions or faiths. But this was back in the 80s, and it was a different type of thinking, and 9/11 hadn't happened yet. Not yet. It would come later. It would come later, just as sure as the sunrise. And, the sad thing is right now everyone wants to, they did said that they did not believe. They have no choice but to believe, but nothing else have showed up in its place. Not one thing. Nothing else showed up in its place. They too smart by half, ain't they? And meanwhile, while this is happening, at this point, I'm sure more than a few Israelis, even the ones who are secular, are finding it's nothing special about you sending him dead people. Okay, they are standing in line, arriving there as I speak. None of them are being special. None of them. They finally reached equality. They each will be treated equally as they register at the gate, I guess. At any rate, Operation Open the Gates of Hell. And why would we want to do that? No, I understand. I'm not against it. I'm not against it. I just like to have understanding. I mean, because I actually read the book that you recommended. I would have at least perused through it a little bit. Absolutely nothing. Are you going to be like someone else I know? I knew this guy who in fact, I knew strange people with Bibles. I knew this guy who had a Bible sitting in the same spot. And when I tell you it was gathering dust. I mean, he had never, ever read it as far as I could see. I knew this other guy who had one of those fancy Bible holders. You know, the kind where you open the Bible up, but yet he tried. This is why they would seek to pretend that I'm going to build a third temple or the fifth one or the eighth one. Build a lot of temples. And it don't take red heifers. Just start building those bastards. What is the problem here? Build a temple and bring the heifers later. I mean, God is flexible. I mean, your God ought to be flexible. I mean, I keep telling you, you can build them and we'll just knock them down. I mean, it's okay with us. Build on, bro. Build on. But anyway, it's Friday night. So we're not going to do any GO. Truly, they are due. And you think that you have a shadow government. No, you have a shadow the government that in which you know of, but you have a shadow of the government within that shadow of the government, which is running the entire of the government. Not just this government, but governments of other countries. In short, it's like I said, you really are governed by cult members. Pretty much all of them. Pretty much all of them. And they have the right to privacy. At least that's what they say, but we don't. From this group, trust me, of supporters. They just won't say so. They just won't say so out loud. But they do support them and their effort to never be known. More than you think. They're already starting to cry and say how wrong it is. Trust me on this. Trust me on this. Both the sympathy seeker and the sympathy giver is already there. They've already gotten past the victimization of young ladies, young boys, children. They're already past that. What they say that they believe in. But it's become increasingly apparent that they don't believe in nothing. It's like I said, who would care what someone else think when it comes to what you believe? What you think? They're going to chase you around with torches and pitchforks like Frankenstein? This is America. Do you know the things that they do here? Don't let them fool you. Some of the very ones who are showing you disdain and calling you out, trust me, we know about this here, but we all know how this shit go. Thought it was a team effort. Well, at some point that shit breaks down, doesn't it? And this is something I always knew. And I still know it to this day. Let me take pause because I'm trying to see where to start here. We're going to start with loyalty. I know for a fact that in this country, overall, there's no such thing. There is no, or the lack thereof. Ain't nobody here. I mean, I'm just speaking overall. I want the enemy, because I'm trying to understand why people who are evil and wicked feel the need to hide behind the veneer of not being that. Why is this necessary? This futile attempt at deception. It is a futile attempt. We keep saying we see you. We even are pointing to the area of the room that you're in. And you still think that you're invisible. They always think they're invisible. Starting to actually believe that you don't believe in any of the actions of your own hands in the terms of that it brought you anything. You starting to understand that it was you bringing you things, not some God, not some demon, not some false belief, not some idol. Hell, in history, mighty other people even melted their own gold coins that they stole from Pharaoh and scrolled off, and bracelets and beads, and shaped them into a damn inanimate object called a calf. And as a species, and yes, I have reduced you for tonight to the level of just a species. Just a species whose brain is far too big, far too big, far too big. It has gained them nothing. 6 to 7 pounds of brain have put them in the exact same position of a damn crocodile. They think like a crocodile, act like a crocodile, walk like a crocodile. It's like a reptilian, not the big walking lizards. And it end his ass in 3 minutes, whether he can swim or not. Okay, but it's all controlled by a brain the size of a walnut. So outside of every now and then killing your asses, what else does it control? What else? Sex. Want for food. Need for shelter. Or want for shelter. That's all. That's all. Now look the fuck around you. Look at the people around you. I bet they worried about one of them. Even if we carved out 50% of your brain, you would still get shit done in the manner that you get it done now. Wouldn't nothing change? Because if you don't use all your brain, you use as much as is needed. The rest is free to roam. Oh, we should show your brain a roaming fee or something, man. But I'm just saying, am I wrong? Of course I ain't. You just hadn't thought about it that way. In fact, your life was stirring the pot. Well, I'm not responsible for what the angels do. The angels do as the word has been written. If you try to really, sir, they won't be taking responsibility either. You have to take it up with God. However, I told you so. All right. Told you so. So, so while the new operation is Operation Open the Gates of Hell. Wow. Who would want to do that? Besides me. But we getting our legs under us. We understanding how it's going now. We understand how all of this is going now. So as America is stuck between this weird ass place between acceptance, submission, and rebellion and revolution. That's where she at right about now. It's gonna get interesting. Interesting. The midterms are gonna tell it all. The midterms are gonna tell it all. And while all of this is happening, they're gone. And there's a lot of acreage out there. Maybe you can catch them. but there's no question that they're out of the barn and running. And running. So which brings me to what I am about to say here. In New York City, I'm not gonna make this personal this time. But it is evident that they have lost the black vote. One of the candidates who he lost, I mean, who lost against him, at this point, can we safely use the statement, refuses to step down? Just refuses to step down, even though he knows that him being there is gonna garner votes as well as support by the other candidate, which is also a Democrat, which has also lost the black vote. My point is this: Democratic other party, stop it. Recognizes it or not sociologically to the black man. You see how this all works out? Because this is how it's going to work out. So what will you do? Question. What will you do? Continue with your donor base, trying to find a middle ground? There is no middle ground. You will represent the people or you will represent corporate interests and rich people, your donor class, the people with the money. You can't win without black people. And that the other races of other people here that you thought would act as a buffer and they would eventually vote for you or to support you are currently under assault, meaning by immigration officials and the current administration. And it would have taken them an entire generation to be able to vote for you anyway. So that was never going to work out. And there were ulterior motives involved in that. At any rate, started to lose support of the black middle class, especially their children, like you're doing now. You should pay me, B, because I'm doing all of the work for you. How much to do? Man, I should be charging you a damn consulting fee here. A consulting fee. Now, here's what you're thinking. Yeah, but if we give in to what the black population wants, which is reparations, self-determination, separation, then it operates in contradiction. So we won't be doing politics with you. No arguing, debates, studies. We won't be doing any of those things. Any of it. No, you and your ruling class, because that's what they are, American people, you need to get used to such terminology. You have developed an elite ruling class, which we knew that you would eventually do 20 years ago. 20 years ago that they were already using terms like the Clinton dynasty and the Bush dynasty. Are you understanding me? And this was people on the right at this point that ain't already compromised, corrupted either by people or money or other activities that they can be blackmailed and threatened and bribed with. What I'm trying to say is you keep putting the same type of character in power. And really, at this point, unfortunately, you have no choice. But even if it wasn't like that, you have no time. You have no time. It's the only quick way there, and this is why I say some of the things I do, is revolution. And once again, it wasn't the failures. It it was a refusal to admit the failure or to act in the face of the failure that has brought them here. I call it arrogance, having so much power that I I simply am above the law, which brings me to my final point. My final point. Rich people, powerful people, need you to listen up. I need you to listen up. It's on the stage now. Let me ask you a question. Do you feel safe? The short answer is no. You don't. You are afraid to go out in your own driveway at this point. I understand what's on the stage. I spoke a few weeks ago about the adjusters. The adjusters are what they are. They can come in many races, many situations. There will always be one cover or the other, one storyline or the other, hidden alone, while the rest of the folks was sitting amongst a small group here, a small group there, a small group there. No, as usual, I'm by myself. The man walked up and said, "Where are the bad ones at?" Instinctually, to my surprise, I just answered. I knew exactly what the hell he was asking me. Where are the badasses at? The unfixables, the never do wells, the wicked ones. And I answered him. I gave him directions. I gave him the name of, tell them what you done. Tell them what you done as they beat the living hell out of him. You get what I'm saying? The hunters, the adjusters. How many of you have died? Did money save you? Did your security save you? Did anything that you thought and believed before that fateful day, did it save them because they thought and believed as well as behaved just like the rest of rich people do? Arrogance never lets you think clearly. Life to line the stars up. You'll be surprised at how much alteration that is done right underneath the surface to put you in the very position. More than you think. These are the work of the angels and the adjusters. They work in unison. My point is, avoid them. Avoid them. And what I mean by avoid them, understand that things have fundamentally changed and that you're no longer in control. And if you're no longer in control, then obviously you're not safe. You're not safe. But note, figure your way out of this. At this point, it doesn't matter if you're right or wrong about your ideologies and your philosophies and how you think about poor people and poor people think about you. Does it really matter at this point when your life is on the line? And it is. It is. And not only is it, it is justified. It is justified. And there's no way for you to argue your way out of this justification. So therefore, you don't even attempt to have the argument. because once again, your arrogance tells. So I would run smack dab into the same problem he had with you and the same arguments. So we shall not be doing that. No, instead, you have to figure out how to save yourself. And you're not going to do it with your money, your security, the, the security structure, like cameras and tracking people by cell phones. And none of that's going to work at the end of the day. It won't stop one adjuster because they are off the grid. They don't move gun from, say, point A to point B, but I'm being watched and I'm being followed. You know how we do it? We go out to eat. We go out to eat and we go use the bathroom. We lock the door. We put the weapon in the ceiling. We wait a week's time, 2 weeks. Someone else goes in, order food, go in the bathroom, and they and they retrieve the weapon, and then it is made with. I promise you, they come, you die. You see them, you die. There will be no time to plead, no time to beg. You're dead. Okay? So figure your way out of this. Do something good. Give the people something they can work with here. If you don't give them something they can work with, then at the end of the day, revolution, rebellion, civil unrest, they're going to work with you. And then you will be no more. And your money won't mean anything because you're going to be dead.